Hi, so today I'm going to be making two side dishes to go with some chicken that we made earlier. I'm going to be making asparagus and mushroom type bake thing and some sweet potato fries that I've always wanted to make. So why did I choose these recipes? Firstly, for the sweet potato fries, I just always wanted to make them, so I'm going to give them a try. And then I was in the grocery store just now and I figured, okay, what green vegetable-ish type thing have I never made before? So I picked up the asparagus. Then I went online and I looked for some recipes. And I found a recipe for both the asparagus and the sweet potato fries that both involve rosemary. And I love rosemary. It is in fact an herb that I started growing last summer. So I've got fresh rosemary that I've been cultivating for a little while now and I'm really excited to finally use it in a recipe. So let's see how these go. So, this seems like a very simple recipe again. You need your asparagus, one bunch. I've got some pre-diced mushrooms, which I love. Olive oil, salt and pepper to taste, but I'm not huge on salt, so I'm actually just going to put pepper. And then it calls for 2 sprigs of fresh rosemary. It smells delicious. Now I have to mince these. So that's the fun part of this, is that I had to learn how to mince something. So I'm just going to take 2 sprigs here. Oh, and I have to take the leaves off of this because the bark, rosemary is actually considered a tree because it has a bark. We don't want that. So we're going to actually just take all the leaves off of it and then we're going to just chop them up nice and fine as I've done here, which took a couple of knives to get it right. Nice and fine. Both of these 2 recipes do call for diced or minced rosemary. So I'm just going to take some leaves off here and then I am going to mince them up. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm just attempting to mince rosemary. Now I actually had to watch a video on how to mince. So mincing apparently is just chopping stuff up really small. So I'm just going to keep on chopping until it's hopefully minced. Now a couple of things. Now these recipes do call for fresh herbs. And like I said, 2 sprigs of fresh herbs. However, if you are reading a recipe that calls for dry herbs and you only have fresh herbs, which is a nice thing, you have to triple the amount. So because we have 2 sprigs and I actually took about 6 for the 2 recipes, hopefully this should be enough. But if you only have dry herbs, remember, it's 3 times fresh to a dry amount. This part I had to look up as well. It says to trim the asparagus, so I'm going to do that. Oops. So I just looked up a video on how to trim asparagus, exactly how, and I really have to try this because I have no idea if it's true or not. They said for the first stalk you actually just have to break it and it'll break at a natural spot between the woody end and the healthy end. So let's see if this works. Ooh, it did. That was easy. Then you're supposed to take this as a guide and then trim all of the rest of the asparagus to the same length. And that apparently is how you trim asparagus. So I have my asparagus and mushrooms in the bowl. I've just washed them now. So all we have to do now is add 2 teaspoons, little ones. 2 teaspoons of olive oil into this. Drizzle. I can drizzle, I know how to do that one. Drizzle. 2. Okay. And then I'm actually going to put all of this rosemary in. It was supposed to be for 2 recipes, but it doesn't look like that much. And I'll do some more for the potatoes. That looks lovely. And then some pepper. Again, I don't like cooking with a lot of salt, so I'll do that. Got some fresh ground pepper, which is nice. And then see what happens next. Okay, so after we added all the ingredients, it said to toss well, so I just mixed up everything in there. It looks delicious already. Then it said to put everything out on a prepared tray. So I've just used some Pam. I hope that's what they mean by prepared. And I'm just going to put this all out, hopefully in an even layer, hopefully it'll fit. And I, of course, preheated my oven to 450 degrees. And so we're just going to do that and cook it for 15 minutes. So let's get this all nice and evenish. Maybe I should have used a bigger pan. So I will continue to make this pretty. Okay, so this process is very much like the other recipe, which I like. I have my peeled sweet potatoes, some olive oil, and it says some garlic olive oil. So I've actually minced some garlic here to mix with that. I've actually done some more rosemary leaves as well, so those are minced. And it calls for dry mustard, which I don't have, unfortunately, which is okay because I'm not a fan of mustard. And it also calls for salt as well, which again, I don't like to put in my recipes. So the process here is pretty much the same. I get to cut these into wedges, and I can attempt to do that without, killing myself. And because we don't have, because I'm not a cook, sweet potatoes are a lot harder than regular potatoes. There we go. No fingers chopped. Fabulous. I'm supposed to cut this into 8 wedges. Let me see. Okay, 2. Can I make this into 4 and not kill myself? There, good. Sweet potatoes are really a lot harder than regular potatoes. That doesn't count. Good. 6. Good. Don't want that kind of size. Good. 8-ish. So then this is going to be the same as the other one. You're going to put all of your ingredients in there. I'm going to sprinkle it with my rosemary, put some garlic. It calls for 1.5 tablespoons, big ones, of olive oil. 1.5, oops, that's a little more than half. And then you're pretty much going to do the same thing, toss it all up together, and it goes in the oven at 450 degrees for 30 minutes also. So now I'm going to chop this other potato and see how that goes. Alright, so here we have our asparagus and mushrooms, our sweet potato fries, and some chicken that we cooked before. And hopefully it's a well laid out meal. I still have all my fingers. I used my fresh rosemary that I've been growing for a while, so that's really exciting. And I hope it tastes well. So far it tastes really great, and I hope the whole thing tastes really good together.